So I guess first I want to ask you, how are you doing with in the midst of everything going on? Hope you're practicing self-care and taking care of yourself as well.
Yeah. Thanks. I'm good. It's such a funny. I feel like everyone asks that question. I'm always just like, I'm good. Good as I can be, you know. But yeah, I meditate in the morning. I talk to friends. I sleep. I eat well. So overall, my mental health seems pretty solid. You know, it's ups and downs, ebbs and flow most days. You know, some days are better than others, but for the most part, I'm healthy, and that's good. What about you?
I'm good. I'm good. It's so many different, like the lifestyle, just complete overhaul of what we're used to. And I'm typically an introvert, so at the beginning it didn't really bother me. But now I'm
Yes.
like reading, like maybe I'm actually an extrovert. Maybe I wanted to do more things. So now whenever quarantine is over, when everything is lifted, I'm gonna be acting very different than I did before then. But it's been good overall. I mean, I'm able to like binge more things that I'm not writing about, so that's a good thing. But speaking of binging, right before The High Note came out, I had the opportunity to finally watch Godfather of Harlem, which I absolutely love. And I wanted to know the experience of playing musicians. How is that for you? And is that something you're looking to do more of?
Playing musicians. It's so funny because the truth is, I mean, I finished Waves and I was looking for a job because the fact of the matter is I finished Waves and I was broke. And and I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, do I do another indie? Indies just they're unsustainable. And also, I mean, I do one where I don't really care about the project. You only do an indie because of the story. It's not because of the check. So I'll do a TV show. Then they started sending me scripts, and then Godfather Harlem came in, and I was like, ooh, music. I don't know about that. I have trauma around that one. I'm gonna leave that one alone. And then they kept asking me, and then they said that Forrest had seen a video of me singing, and
Wow.
how did he get that? Who did that? Um, and he really wanted me for that part, so that inspired me. That made me want to do it enough to actually come in and do the part. So it wasn't so much the musician thing. The musician thing usually makes me want to run. But it was.
But you're so good at it. But you're so good at it.
It's just, I just had a really, I just think I have my bar for certain arts. Even as an actor, I'm really hard on myself because I just think it just has so much influence and it's such a complex and beautiful. Any art is so beautiful, and I just want it to be done well. And I always want the best person to do everything, because then it has a better impact to me. And so I'm always just like, is there someone better? Find them. Then call me. If I'm the best option at this time limit with this amount of money that you have, then sure, I'm down. But other than that, let's get the best stuff done.
Yeah. That makes sense. And along with The High Note and then The Photograph, which was probably the last movie I think that I screened before, one of the last ones I screened before the pandemic happened. You entered 2020 like so far on screen differently than past years. Like these are lighter rom-com-y vibes. Like we're not dealing with this intense material from Waves and Luce, Monsters and Men. Do you approach these roles differently than you do the ones that are darker?
So I love that you said I came in 2020 different. I feel good about it. Everyone's just like, I don't know if that's gonna be scary. And now 2020 is like, what's up? I do. I think I approach them the same. To be honest, actually, I think these are harder to do for me, and I think because it's what I'm always trying to craft. Even in that is trying to find the same undertones of what the indies feel like, what like Wave feel like in terms of the drama, because that exists in all of our lives. But keep it light. And I think it's tricky because then you have to do all of that work and then figure out how to elevate it a little bit, rise it so that it's just on the surface, but you can still feel remnants of like some humanity and some fear and some excitement and some joy and all these things, but over a joke or over like a smile. And cracking at it, I think is harder than it is to. That's why I respect comedians so much. I talk to Tracy all the time about, like, the work you do on Blackish is just like, is huge to me. I think it's so complicated. I was like, but you have to really have a strong sense of self and a self-awareness of what's going on in the world to be able to find levity and some serious topics, which they do often, you know, on Blackish, and as well in our movie. So it's harder. The work is actually harder. I was more stressed than I've ever been working on the high note than I've any other movie. I swear to God.
How is it like working with both Tracy, like stacked cast, you, Tracy, Dakota, Ice Cube? How is it like working with all of them?
It was fun. I mean, first of all, Tracy is joy. You know, I just think every time I'm around her, she's nothing but positive vibes and just like excited and just giggling. And you know, we have this running joke where she says I'm flat, and I go I'm flat, and we just lay down and we're just flat. It's weird humor, but it just feels simple. It feels easy, and I think that's what's so refreshing about, you know, working with the top of the game and so intelligent and so talented. But you know, it doesn't feel like there's a power dynamic of any sort, you know, and that's really nice. Dakota is the same, and she's a hard worker, and I think it was just cool to kind of collaborate with her and figure out a groove and joke around and just see also like how she knows about all the mixing boards and like just the level of commitment. I respect that so much. So I've always worked with people that bring in their best game. And so that was the same vibes with Tracy and Dakota. I didn't get to meet. I met Cube one day, and he was from a distance, and he had his sunglasses on. And I was like, respect. And that was about it.
So your star is constantly rising. Like I remember I profiled you, I think it was in 2018. It was right after Sundance with Monsters and Men. And the headline was 2018 is the year of Kelvin Harrison Jr. And then I was kind of outdone because like then 2019 comes and you're still rising. 2020 comes, you're still rising. As you continue to get more visible, do you perceive the industry in a different way? And also, have you learned anything about yourself as an actor as your profile continues to rise?
I definitely learned more about the industry. I've learned more of my power and how and interact with people in the industry. I think oftentimes it's easy to kind of feel like you are just standing by waiting for a call or standing by waiting for some type of validation or acceptance. And I just, now that I've reprogrammed that, I was like, no. I get to have whatever I want, whenever I want it, and however I want to do that. I just have to set the things up accordingly. So I've now found my power in my participation. And that has been really exciting. You know, if I want something to get made, I can read a book. I can call my agent. I can call my manager. I have enough connections at this point in relationships that I've built because people have recognized the fact that I care and that I'll do the work and I'll get on the ground if I have to and do whatever it needs to be done to get something made. So it's just shifted. Also, how we talk about this, how we talk about diversity, how we talk about inclusion, how we just open up a dialogue about all of it. I think it's kind of, there's less fear involved of like, maybe will I lose this opportunity? I've decided to ingrain in my mind, I was like, I'm not willing to have a seat at the table if I have to settle for tokenism. So once I got that through my skull, I was like, there's nothing that really can stop me other than me.
Yeah, well, you've legitimately been one of the most booked and busy people in Hollywood for like the past 3 years. So shout out, like I'm always interested in seeing, you know, we at Shout Out cover a project from like the first casting to all the way to it hits theaters and the festival then the theaters. And it's just so great to see how many projects you've been able to do in like the span of a few years. And speaking of projects, I know it leaked before you could confirm it, but you did say that you are joining Euphoria for the upcoming season. And I know you can't talk too much about it, but I would like to know what excites you the most about being a part of a show that's so buzzy right now. I mean, even Zendaya's getting like a lot of Emmy buzz for her role, and it's definitely one of the most talked about shows right now. So what excites you the most about being a part of it?
I think I really love the world. I love the way Sam Levinson, the showrunner, articulates the experiences of young people in mental health, and how he embraces individuality. Um, I love the dialogue around the show, and to be a person of culture that happens to be African American, and to enter the space alongside Zendaya and Hunter Schafer and Barbie and Alexa and etc. It really excites me, and to be a male in this, a black man as well, is exciting to me, and to see how we can explore some of these same ideas and concepts, and how we fit into that world as well, has been exciting. I know LG was on the show, and I'm just to add to that narrative. So it's been really wonderful. Sam is a great collaborator, and we've had a lot of beautiful conversations about what we want to do with the character, and what we see and how we feel. And he's just very playful, and it's just a very it feels proper, you know, for lack of a better word. It feels proper. It feels like what art is supposed to be like when you're in this phase of it. And the pandemic has only given us more time to really sink our teeth into it, to make sure it's actually provocative.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see more, especially like you said, Black male representation. I know we got a little bit of that in the first season with Algie's character, and looking forward to seeing that expand more in the second season. Also, you and Alexa are probably gonna be like the poster children for A24 going on now with A24, with Waves and Euphoria. Like, everyone's gonna be like, okay, they were A24. But last question: if we were to get the High Note sequel, would you be down for it?
Ooh. If Tracy Sun's on, yes. If Tracy Sun's on, I would be down for it. And that's it. I'll do it.
Maybe if it were to happen, it could be at a time when people, we can sometime, hopefully in the near future, we can go back to the theaters, and it could be, that sort of experience, since we didn't really get that this time. But I do think that, considering the reception that I saw to the film, I feel like a lot of people would enjoy it.
Yeah, it'd be fun. More songs. I just love. Actually, I was like, I felt like a kid in a candy store singing those songs. I was like, man, I never get to do this, and I'm gonna get away with it. All right, bet, let's do it. So it was fun. I would definitely do it.